Good morning, everybody. Thank you for tuning in this beautiful, gorgeous morning, day 5 here at the 2012 Hokipa Kite Surf Pro. Sky, wake up again to yet another fantastic wave morning out there. Brilliant sunshine here on the beautiful island of Maui. We do have some wind blowing, as you might be able to tell from the texture on the water behind us. Some flags blowing. However, it is in that typical Kona wind direction, which will allow us not to be able to run the competition today, Sky.
Yeah, we got down here to the beach this morning, and already last night, actually, I was woken up by the wind, and we felt that Kona breeze coming in. Woke up to beautiful, clear skies this morning. It's a beautiful sunrise over Haleakala, and just beautiful waves out here again this morning. The swell's picked up again overnight. Yesterday, we had a little bit of a dip in the swell. Today, it's looking like it's probably in the 4, 5, 6 foot range out there. Guys getting barreled left and right. Unfortunately, it does look like we're probably going to have another lay day, but looking at the forecast, it looks like there's good things to come towards the end of the week.
Yeah, looking the rest of today should stick pretty primarily Kona, decreasing in strength as the day goes on. The swell should stick, again, as we've been saying the last few days, around for the remainder of the holding period. And based on the models that we see and from local knowledge that we can collect, tomorrow the wind switches around to more of a trade direction. It'll be interesting to see, actually, how soon the Kona winds start to drop today, Sky, because a lot of times the sooner the Kona drops, then the quicker it kind of switches around the other direction and offers the trade wind, which is supposed to be what it's going to do tomorrow. But I would bet tomorrow's kind of an iffy forecast to be sure exactly what's going to happen, because it's calling for it to be light trade. But depending on what happens as this day goes on, we could see relatively strong trades returning as early as tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. Once the wind once this Kona dies down and the wind actually does swing back to more of an easterly direction, of course Maui gets that acceleration between Haleakala and the West Maui's. It just funnels that wind through the center of the island here. So as soon as that wind turns to more of a trade pattern and more of an easterly direction, could get that acceleration, and we could be looking at getting this contest underway as soon as tomorrow.
Yeah, and again, we've touched on a few issues as we've been speaking on our morning shows here on the group of lay days that we've had. To begin this competition, a few of the contest scenarios of what it's going to take. Again, up for grabs here, not only bragging rights at one of the most world-class wave breaks behind us here at Hokipa State Park, but also the overall tour championship for the 2012 KSP year.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, we've got a bunch of women and men in contention for that world title here coming into this final 4th event here of the KSP World Tour 2012. We're going to get a little bit into some of those scenarios later on in the show. But for now, if you're just joining us, this is day 5 here of the Hokipa Kite Surf Pro 2012. Kona wins, and another beautiful day, and hopefully we get this thing underway as soon as tomorrow. But looking at the end of the week, I can't wait to see what that forecast is going to bring.
Yeah, and again, as Sky, you just said, if you're just joining us, it is an official lay day called for day 5 of the 2012 Hokipa Kite Surf Pro. We're going to take a break. We're going to step away for a few seconds to hear a few words from our sponsors, and we'll be back with more from Hokipa State Park right after this.
Good morning, everyone. I'm standing here with Stefan de Figueiredo from Brazil. Stefan was lucky enough to catch one of the spots of the 2 Brazilian tour riders that couldn't make it all the way to Hokipa. Stefan, are you excited about being here and being part of the Hokipa Kite Surf Pro?
Sure. I have been watching this contest the last 2 years from the beginning. I watched all those videos, all those riders, and so excited to be here and surf with the guys.
Well, you actually do get to surf here, or it's at least in this hemisphere quite a bit. You live on Oahu. Lucky you, since 5 years you were telling me. Being on Maui versus Oahu, you come here, you said a couple times a year. What do you prefer for kiting?
I prefer that because I live in backyards. I know when the spot's good, it's hard to be good there, and when it's good, I'm always there, and I know where the spot is good, and I know everyone there, and I can enjoy more than here, but I have good friends here, and I have always when come here, I have a good time.
It's interesting. We heard that from Machu, and Ayrton yesterday already. It's just where your heart is, where you're at home. I guess you always enjoy that a little bit more. But looking out here at Okipa doesn't look too bad either, does it?
No, look, there's a beautiful right rain offshore. When the wind starts to blow, it's going to be perfect for the kite riders, and all of you all guys are going to have fun here.
That sounds good, and we are all looking forward to that, I think. So, Stefan, very interesting though. You're not actually a professional kiteboarder. Well, you are as well, but you are more so a competitive or a professional surfer. And you told me you used to compete when you were younger. So you used to be a competitive surfer as well, but then you stopped competing because you like what more?
I like to charge big waves. I started to compete with Pedro Henrique back in the years, like 15 years ago, and I stopped, and he's still competing, and he did KS and CT World Tour, and I stopped to run to charge big waves, and still surfing big waves. He's still competing in the surf contest and now kiting surfers.
Yeah, and so you are charging big waves on the surfboard, and I'm sure you do the same on the kite, but yet you are here competing in a kite surf event. You've stepped away from competing in surfing events, you stepped into competing into kiting events. What motivated you to do that?
It's more to learn with the guys. I told you I already have watched all those videos, and now I want to see those guys ripping on these waves. I surf in Oahu with Top Hat, Felix, Rio Staves, and I learn a lot of these guys. And now I'm gonna see the world, all those guys from all over the world.
So you came a little bit for inspiration, but hopefully also to rip yourself and not just learn from everyone else, but also teach them a little bit. I wish you good luck in the contest. It's great to have you here. And is there anything you want to maybe say to your people at home in Brazil and Oahu?
May I speak in Portuguese?
Yes, please.
Aí galera, a gente tá aqui em Maui, em Okipa, e espero que vocês acompanhem o evento, que vai ter altas ondas aqui, tem previsão de vento bom, e fiquem ligados.
That sounds great. I didn't understand much, but hello to everyone in Brazil. And Stefan, I just have one last question for you. Is this still Movember, or do you always wear this?
No. My family and my friends didn't like too much, but it's myself, it's me.
Sounds great. We like you like that. Thanks a lot, Stefan.
Thank
Back
you,
to everyone in the commentary booth.
We just heard from Brazilian rider Stefan de Figueiredo. Great to hear from him. He's a new competitor, hasn't competed at a KSP event before. This will be his first event ever, and he comes from a surfing background, living over on the North Shore of Oahu. Really great to have guys like Stefan coming into the tour and crossing over from the surfing world. And he's just added a few kites to his quiver, rides the same boards he normally does when he's surfing, and it's great to see him out here in the warm-up sessions, out here paddling Hokipa, and can't wait to see him kite as soon as we get some wind, hopefully in the next couple days.
And again, as you see up on your screen in front of you, Day 5 here at the Hokipa Kitesurf Pro official lay day called. We are overlooking downwind a little bit from Hokipa, more towards the direction of lanes. You can see our contest zone where all the judges are going to be sitting, kind of right at the bottom of your screen there, along with the flagpole for heat sequencing of red, green, yellow flags. But man, what a great natural amphitheater that this place is. It's a great place, easy place to judge actually, because you're kind of up on a cliff about 30, 40 feet off the water, and basically just overlooking that entire bay that's stretching out in front of you.
Yeah, I mean, this place is basically, it looks like it was designed to spectate surfing and windsurfing and kiteboarding. It's absolutely perfect. As you were mentioning there, Ben, you're kind of up overlooking, kind of got a bird's eye view of the entire lineup here. From our camera angles to where our judges will be sitting, we can just see all the action as it unfolds out here at Hokipa. And yeah, just a beautiful morning again this morning with that offshore breeze. Pretty rare to see Kona winds like this here at Hokipa. And it's beautiful to just see those wave faces being held up by that offshore breeze. And we've been talking a bit about the forecast earlier in the show, looking like, well, actually, we've been talking about it all week, and that's something on everyone's minds, watching as this forecast develops. Looks like it could turn around maybe as soon as tomorrow. Tomorrow's kind of the transition day, and looking forward into the week, hopefully by Wednesday, we will definitely be getting this thing underway.
And yeah, let's get into a little bit of what we've been touching on the last few days as well, Sky, in that there's a few different possibilities, a few different riders that are all in the running for taking home that world title, not only the individual event title here at Hokipa, but really on the line here, remarkably, a lot of riders still alive, both on the men's and the women's side, depending on your complex mathematical scenarios, can take home the victory, not only here, as I said, but also for the overall tour. So, as we start talking about, some of the action that we've seen through the events that we've had so far, you see Yalu Langare on your screen there in front of you. Comes into this event as the tour points leader, looking to solidify her top spot and the overall championship.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Yalu's been on fire all year. In fact, as you see her here in Mauritius, where she was able to get second place there, coming up against the local Nina Bichler, and she did really well to get that second place there. Followed it up with a win in Ireland and skyrocketed her back into the lead in front of Yalu. In front of Nina, sorry.
Yeah, exactly. And on your screen in front of us now, I believe we're seeing Ines Correa, a co-champion actually of our previous event in Ireland, defending world champion from last year. And those two girls coming into this event, again, sharing the victory in Ireland. It's going to be a hotly contested battle, but again, individual event winner Nina Bichler taking the event home in Mauritius will also be a force to be reckoned with here in this final event that we find ourselves in of the year.
Yeah, I mean, these girls have all been battling it out all year long, starting in Portugal, then going into Mauritius. The last event we had, freezing cold, Ireland, and now coming into this final event in Hokipa. So Ines Correa coming from Portugal, Guincho is her home spot, and she's getting out, seeing a lot of waves on tour this year, and looking to win back that title that she won last year. And
as we see on our screen here, Nina Bichler, again shown here in her home spot, just absolutely had that place wired at one eye, and kind of propelled herself into the lead after that first no contest in Portugal, and set the tone really for bringing it into Ireland, where she was a bit disappointed, I believe, with her finish, obviously knocking her out of that top spot, but well within contention to take home the victory.
And of course, Kirsty Jones from Wales has also been following the entire tour this year. Here we see her in Mauritius, riding on her natural stance there, facing the wave. That's also going to be really interesting coming into this event. We haven't really had any rights on tour this year. Our first event in Portugal, we managed to run a few heats, but didn't quite get the wind we were looking for there, so we weren't able to get a final result. And that was the only right on tour besides Hokipa. So coming into this final event, it's going to be really interesting to see what the regular footers bring to the table when they're able to actually face the wave out here.
Yeah, and Kirsty Jones sitting, I believe, in that world number 4 position. Within striking distance, she needs a few things to go her way in order to get to that top spot. She needs the favorites to go down pretty early, or at least she needs to be right there at the end in the final, probably needing to win this event to give herself any chance of taking home the overall tour victory. But again, just being able to be out there is enough for her to be in the right position to win.
Exactly, and to talk about this guy here, male points leader here, Patry McLaughlin. This is his hometown here. He is a Maui boy coming from the island of Maui, and here we see him in Mauritius, where he was absolutely charging. It's funny that a lot of the really good riders from Maui are actually goofy footers. It's kind of ironic because it's always predominantly rights here, but Patry was loving that left-hand reef break in Mauritius and just getting barreled all over the place down there. He was able to take the victory and again tie for first in our last event in Ireland, and coming into this final event here in Hokipa, the points leader looking to secure his first ever world title here in front of his home crowd.
Yeah, and you're getting a pretty good look at the barrel hunting prowess that he was displaying in Mauritius. Not really going to probably have the same kind of wave conditions here as Mauritius, probably similar sizing, but really it takes a day like today, kind of a Kona wind, to really hold the wave up and have it be nice and hollow here at Hokipa. So it'll probably be a little bit more of a A-framey style of wave.
Yeah, it'll be definitely more about doing turns here. I mean, it is possible to get barrels out here at Hokipa, but it's not really known for being a really hollow wave. But to talk a little bit about this guy on your screen here, absolutely on fire all of last year and this year, Ayrton Cozzolino from Italy. Yeah, he is the reigning world champion, and he came up in the final against Patry in Mauritius and was just not quite able to take the victory home there. And as you see, just the power that goes into his turns, this guy is just absolutely incredible. And I can't wait to see him out here at Hokipa.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one. I mean, again, as we said, it's kind of anyone's game. He does come in to this event trailing Patry McLaughlin for the World Championship. However, both Yalu and Patry find themselves kind of masters of their own destiny. If they win this event, then no one can catch them. So, but the hard task is knowing there's guys like Ayrton out there that are going to be gunning for him. Completely and totally, and as we've seen on tour this year, the guy holds nothing back, nothing scares him. He goes after every lip, no matter the power, the size, with the same amount of energy and commitment that he would a two-footer.
Yeah, exactly, and I believe that Ayrton, Ayrton and Patry are actually quite close in points at the moment. Whoever wins, whoever places higher out of those two, of course, depending a little bit on how some other competitors do, will take home the victory here. So those guys definitely going to be doing some serious battle out here. And this guy here, Sebastian Ribeiro from Brazil, one of the few Brazilians on tour, or one of the many Brazilians on tour, I should say, just been charging all year long, currently in third place in the rankings. And again, he is in very close contention to be able to take home the title here in Maui.
Yeah, and anybody who's had the chance to see Sebastian ride, again, his style kind of comes to mind first and foremost. Having a pretty predominantly surfing background his entire life, and really not changing his approach towards waves or how he's riding at all just because he has a kite in his hand, and that's pretty evident in his style, and also evident in how high he's been placing in events on tour this year. Backside riding for a majority of the waves that we found ourselves in, and making it look stylish and easy. And again, as you said, Sky, can't wait to see what he's like on his forehand here.
Yeah, for sure. I really like Sebastian's style, how he sort of stays high on the face, really uses the power of the wave. Like in Mauritius, for example, he was using a really small kite compared to a lot of other competitors, and really using the power of the wave to generate speed. And he's just been on fire all year long. We see him here. One of the few days we had of rights. This was in Portugal to start the year out. In fourth place, coming from South Africa, Luke McGilloway had a little bit of a slow start in Portugal, but came out absolutely swinging in Mauritius, and we saw a lot of him on the webcast in Mauritius. Again, a goofy footer coming from South Africa, just destroying some of those perfect waves
Yeah, and
out of the reef at one eye.
really, Luke setting the tone for taking down some of the big names, some of the favorites for the tour for the year, and actually really making a huge impact on the overall standings as we sit, as we had a few events that didn't quite complete and the points couldn't really be given out, for in that first, second, third, fourth place scenario. Really, that Mauritius event kind of dictated how everyone is sitting right now here in Hawaii. So for Luke, he definitely finds himself in a position that not many people would have anticipated coming into the year, and I know he's stoked to have a chance here to actually take home the overall championship. Again, needs some things to go his way, needs some of the favorites to lose pretty early, but pretty amazing.
Yeah, and Luke was, as you mentioned there, Ben, a giant killer in Mauritius. I believe he took down this man on your screen here, Mitu Montero, who is no slouch when it comes to competition. He's been competing for a number of years and had one of the highest heat score totals of that first day in Mauritius, getting a beautiful backside barrel. And he's going to be looking to, he is still in contention for this thing. Some things need to go his way, but he'll be looking for a victory here, and just for the glory of the event win here, if nothing else, in Maui.
Yeah, and Me Too can never be outside of the list of favorites when you're talking about any event. It's watching his riding is pretty unique. He's not uncommonly switching stance in the middle of a wave. Definitely doesn't shy away from barrels, errors. He doesn't seem to have any weakness, and probably surprising to most people that he sits so low in the rankings this year.
Yeah, and another rider tied for fifth place there with Me Too is another Brazilian on tour, Guilherme Brandão. Those of you who've been in the sport for a while would definitely recognize that name. He's been around for a number of years and just has a beautiful surf style. And the final rider here tied for fifth place, Kiahi de Aboides, he's been putting out some incredible videos online, and he's been charging all year long, still in contention to win here in Maui as well.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate that some of the events didn't go to completion. I would venture to say that what we saw, as you see right there, in Ireland, I think he was probably riding as good as anyone, if not the best rider that we saw in Ireland. Again, taking home that sort of tie for first place. But he was on fire, and I would have said that if that went to completion, I would be surprised if he didn't take home that individual victory if we had just one more day of conditions. So he seems to be peaking at the right moment, does have an outside chance to take home that overall championship, does find himself in Hawaii, spends tons of time in Oahu. So again, as we look back at all of our competitors that have a chance at taking home this title, as we saw in that clip, some pretty deserving riders that made up all of those action clips that we saw from previous events, and really whoever takes home this event, obviously some people need some help in order to make it happen for them, but having it all come down between that many riders here at the end is pretty spectacular, and I can't wait for those straights to come back to see who emerges victorious for the 2012 year.
Yeah, I can't wait to see everyone get out here at Ho'okipa, and I can't wait to get out there myself as well. Again, if you're just joining us, this is day 5 of the 2012 Ho'okipa Kitesurf Pro, coming to you live from Ho'okipa Beach Park on the beautiful north shore of Maui. We've got a Kona breeze out there this morning. It is going to be an official lay day today, but winds could turn around as soon as tomorrow, and looking later into the forecast towards the last few days of the waiting period here, it looks like the trades will hopefully come back, and we will be able to have some incredible action out here on the North Shore.
Yep, so we are going to step away for 1 minute, hear a word from our sponsors, and be back with you with more here from day 5 of the Ho'okipa Kitesurf Pro 2012. Welcome back. We are here standing up on the bluff overlooking the break at Ho'okipa. As we said earlier, such a brilliant, gorgeous day here in Maui. But again, if you're just joining us, you can see the lower half of your screen. It's a lay day here, day 5 of the Ho'okipa Kite Surf Pro 2012. We just got done looking over some action clips from the riders on tour here, still in contention to take home that World Championship title. And Sky, as we said, just super excited to get this thing underway. Looks like it's probably going to happen within the next few days. Outside chance that it's going to happen tomorrow. So, please keep up abreast on all the situations as they arise via Facebook and Twitter and the webpage that you're currently viewing us right now. Will be updated as soon as we know or forecasts start to change or something comes up that looks like we might be able to get this thing underway.
Yeah, we're going to be back here again live at 9 a.m. tomorrow, local Maui time, and hopefully the wind gods will be with us and in our favor, and we'll be able to get this thing underway. But yeah, take a little browse around the page, check out some of the videos, like some of our sponsors on Facebook. Huge thanks to everyone for supporting this event. Huge community effort here. And yeah, just really stoked to be here at Ho'okipa, and I can't wait for this thing to start. Looking back over some of that action that we've seen all year long, and just with the points being so tight coming into this final event, both on the women's and on the men's side, I can't wait to see what's going to happen. Anything can happen. We don't know who's going to win the title, and it's going to be a great show out here at Ho'okipa.
So until tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. again, official lay day of day 5. But until tomorrow morning, I'm Ben Meyer.
And I'm Sky Solbach, and we will see you guys here at 9 a.m. tomorrow.